On one not quite so sunny day, in a place not so far, far away, there lived a man who lived alone, whose only goal in life was to avoid sobriety at all costs. This man goes by the name Vincent Water. His alcoholism is the stuff of legend, for if one other than him attempted to drink as he does, consuming entire bottles of absinthe in single sittings, well, let's just say that many would pass out before getting halfway. But here he is now, doing just that, unfazed by the extreme levels of alcohol. It seems that today, a single bottle of the hallucinogen is not enough for poor Vincent, so henceforth he starts his long journey to the liquor store. The liquor store, being what most would call just around the corner, is far too much a trek for Vincent, and before long he finds himself resting against a telegraph pole. Exhausted, he looks down and notes something on the ground, a wallet, with 2 rainbow-coloured tickets poking out. Upon closer inspection, he finds that they are tickets for a circus that's on today. Intoxicated and absent-minded, Vincent forgot why he was outside and made a 3 o'clock turn for the circus, which is when his trouble began. At the entry to the circus, 3 know-it-all uppity women stood in his way, barring all entry to the festivities beyond the gate. Vincent showed them his ticket, but they refused to acknowledge its authenticity. Rather angry about having spent all that energy walking here, just to be refused entry, Vincent started retaliating in the only way he knew, chucking rocks. The absinthe making its effect clear, the rocks of which Vincent tossed, at closest, only managed to hit the wall several meters away from his target. He kept throwing and throwing, but when his aim got so bad as to hit the limb of a tree far above their heads, he stopped and stared. But unknown to Vincent and the 3 girls alike, the limb of this particular tree was a close cousin of the weeping willow. Thus, the limb fell, crushing all 3 of the girls. Entry was now possible for Vincent, who simply stepped over their bodies. The circus was rather quiet, for the festivities were yet to start, so Vincent simply wandered, looking for something to pass the time. That is when Vincent saw her, the girl rushing around with a letter in her hand. To many she would appear a nutjob, a psychotic, a person to avoid at all costs. But Vincent felt drawn to her, he needed to speak to her, he needed to hear her voice, and with those feelings pacing through his head, he wandered towards her. As he got closer, her movements became more erratic and unpredictable, but Vincent simply wanted to speak to her. Following his male intuition, he approached her, and well, she drew a gun and pulled the trigger. The bullet flew through the air, piercing Vincent's left arm, and penetrating through to hit the petroleum tank of a vehicle that was parked behind him. The explosion followed shortly after. Vincent flew through the air, propelled by the force of the explosion behind him. The lunge pushed him straight in the direction of his assailant. The collision between the 2 knocked the gun out of her hands, and left Vincent laying on top of this unknown woman. She pleaded to him, saying that he could do whatever he wished to her, so long as he let her live. Vincent stood up and saw that in her hand there was the envelope that he saw her holding before. Vincent simply requests to read the envelope. Reluctantly, she hands it over. Vincent examines the envelope and finds something he wasn't expecting. The letter was addressed to him.